Good morning, everybody. How are you doing? How are you doing? Welcome, welcome. I had a good weekend. I got to watch my little granddaughter Sunday all day, Elliot. Oh, it was just darling. She's just a doll, so I had a good time watching her. And anyway, I wanted to talk about getting old and the fears that you have, that we all have. And the reason I wanted to do this is because I went to the store this morning, to the grocery store, and, well, there's a guy with a cane who could barely walk. There was a woman in a wheelchair. There was another woman that her son was obviously taking her shopping. She looked like she was probably 90. Yeah, and it just kind of got me to thinking as I walked around to do what I had to do. I thought, ooh, it just gave me this kind of scary feeling of what's ahead. Tell me what your fears are about getting older. What are you experiencing now, or what are you worried about experiencing in the future? Yeah, I'm going to be turning 70 this month, so yeah, it's got me thinking a little bit. And you hear about, you see it on TV, YouTube, whatever, all the things that people are going through in their old age. And it can be a little scary. It can be a little scary as to what lies ahead. Because I don't know about you, but if I were to get something like dementia or Alzheimer's, I don't want to be here. I'm telling you, I think if a doctor told me you have the beginning stages of dementia or Alzheimer's, I honestly think that would be it for me. I'm done. I don't want to be alive for years. And people will say, "Oh, but you won't know what's going on." Well, I don't want to go through the confusion that I've seen in people with dementia. It's constant confusion. Saw it with my own mother. Saw it with the people that I was a caregiver to. Yeah, a lot of confusion. And it scares me. I think about, what if you get some kind of illness that leaves you unable to really function, and maybe you're in pain, maybe you're just miserable because you can't do anything anymore. That kind of thing really it gets me to thinking. I have a cousin who's 91 years old, and we were talking the other day, and she said, "You know what, at this stage of my life, if I were to get something like cancer or some disease that would take me out unless they treat it," she goes, "I'm not going to have them do anything. I'm not going to do anything. I'm just going to let it take its course." Which I can kind of understand at the age of 91, because like she said, what for? What for do I want to stay alive even longer? Just to wait and see what else is going to happen? It's not like, there's a lot of life to do anything. She can't drive anymore. She has her son living with her to take care of her, which I think is amazing. But like she said, if I get something like that that's going to do me in, then it's going to do me in. And I can understand that. And it is frightening. It is like, what I think about, God, if I had to be stuck in a wheelchair, to be honest with you guys, I do not want to live if I'm going to be disabled or not able to function and take care of myself. I don't want to be here. I really don't want the hardship of going through all that. And I saw it as a caregiver to the elderly for many years. I saw the hardships they went through, and I don't want to go through that. If you're healthy and you're able to continue doing everything, when you get really old, well then yeah, I guess you can look at it like life is still worth living, that type of thing. But that's the only way to me it would be worth living, is if I'm still able to function and do what I want. But when I go out and about and I see some of these people, I stop. I never used to do that. But now that I'm older, I look at them, the ones that are really old, they're in their 80s, maybe 90s, whatever, and I see them and I'm just like, oh my God, I don't want to end up like that. And it's frightening because you never know. You can be as healthy as a horse today, and then tomorrow something starts to hurt, or you know something's not right, and you go into the doctor and you find out, oh boy, you know, you're going to have this the rest of your life. It's thoughts that I didn't used to have. Thoughts that creep up every now and then. Like this morning, for instance. I woke up, I'm laying there with my dogs, and I'm thinking to myself, what would it be like if I couldn't get out of bed by myself? Having to have somebody do all that. No, guys, I don't want to be here. I don't know about you, but I don't want to be here if I'm like an invalid type of situation. I don't know. I don't think, and to me that's not living, that's existing. You're just existing after a while. Now, I'm sure maybe there's some of you right now that are elderly and that are watching this, and you've got things that are really making your life hard, but you still think it's worth it. And that's fine. That's good that you feel that way. But I'm talking about, you know, fears of serious stuff coming up. What are your fears? Tell me what things you can think of that make you scared about getting really old. I don't know, guys. It's really strange because I never used to think about this kind of stuff, but now I am. And as I watched those people today, I thought, oh my goodness. And there was a while back when I met a woman, we just happened to start talking in the store, the grocery store. And she was in a scooter, and my son Nathan happened to be with me at the time, and she was talking about it. You know, we just got to talking. We got along really well. And we were just talking about stuff. And then the next time I saw her, again, my son was with me, and just by chance, and she was telling me, excuse me, she was telling me how she's losing her eyesight, how she's going to be completely wheelchair bound, because she was already in a scooter in the store, but she could stand up. But she said, I'll be completely wheelchair bound. And it's not like she was, you know, 90 years old. She looked like she was in her, I'd say 60s, late 60s. And I thought about it, and I thought, oh my gosh, you know, she said that she's already training herself to feel for things once she loses her sight. I personally, if I lost my sight, I don't want to be here. I don't want to be here. I'm sorry. I just, no. There's just so many scary things about getting really old. And I know it, I'm sure it weighs heavy on some of your minds. If you're getting older, you know, you're stopping to think about what it's going to be like, what's going to happen, that type of thing. And I'll tell you, after being a caregiver for the elderly and seeing what they went through, there were times I'd come home and I would feel so bad for them. It was like, oh my God, I can't imagine living that way. I can't imagine being in that frame of mind. I can't imagine any of that, you know. And I'm thinking about someone I know. She's actually my doctor, but her husband is, he's got dementia. He can't speak anymore. He's lost bodily controls, if you know what I mean, and she has to take care of him 24/7. And I'm thinking to myself, oh my gosh, this is what we get after a life of hardship anyway. I mean, life is hard, let's be honest here. It's very, very hard. There's nothing easy about life. I don't care if you're rich or poor. Life is hard in one way or another for each person. I don't care what your circumstances concerning money. There's always something to make life hard for you. And so after a lifetime of hardships that we have to constantly overcome, illness, you know, personal things, family things, emotional things, you name it, there's a million things, injuries, illnesses, what have you, we overcome so much. And then the end is us being just completely you know, like that lady I saw in the wheelchair. She's like this. She was literally like this. And I thought, and she's telling her son what to get her. And I thought, oh my God, my heart just broke for her. It just broke. I stood there and I was as I walked by and I saw her, I thought, oh my God, poor thing. You know, she was literally like this, guys. I'm not exaggerating. She had her arms on the side of the wheelchair and she was like that. And I thought, can she even lift her head? What, you know, what's going on with her? I felt so bad. So yeah, I don't know, it got me to thinking, because man, there's so much that we go through. And then it ends the way it ends, with disease, with illness, with some kind of disability, with pain, with suffering. My cousin who's been through, you know, so much with her knee pain, my 91-year-old cousin, a lot of knee pain. She's even fallen and stuff, and I just think about all that, and it is scary. You know, my sister died at 49, and my brother was murdered at 36, right? So they died young. And sometimes I think, how sad it is that they left this earth so young. And at the same time, I think they're not going to go through the hell of getting old and suffering maybe for years with something that affects them. They get some kind of affliction. So yeah, I've thought about that. I thought, because my sister was a really bad diabetic, and she was already having issues with her eyesight, and you know, the things that happen to diabetics over time can be pretty bad. And I think about, oh my gosh, what does the future hold? Because guys, I don't know about you. Tell me what you feel. If you end up elderly with all these health problems, do you want to keep on living? Do you want to stick around? Do you have plans? I've read articles and I've seen videos of people with the comments saying they're making plans that if such and such happens to them and they're going to end out their years, who knows how long, suffering, they're out of here. They're done. They're making plans to be out of here, which I don't blame them. I can certainly understand. I don't know, guys. What goes on in your heads about getting really old? And do you have plans? Do you have thoughts about how you're going to handle if you're given really bad news? Let's say you're in your mid to late 80s and you're given bad news. Are you going to go through all kinds of treatments, or are you going to just let it take its course? Just tell them to keep you comfortable till the end, that type of thing? Or, yeah, I'm curious what all of you, because I've seen so many comments from so many people on different videos about what they feel concerning getting older. And then when I saw that today, I thought, oh man, what do I have to look forward to? What, you know, it's a scary thought. At least to me it is. Because you can go from just living your life every day, doing what you normally do, to all of a sudden not. And it frightens me, especially living alone. Oh boy, living alone, it really frightens me. Maybe I should look for a husband. You know, no. It just frightens me. It really does. Being alone especially. I mean, I know what I've already experienced just with an injury that was so bad, or an illness that was so bad that my son Nathan had to come and stay with me for a matter of days. So it does make me wonder, you know, what the future holds being alone. It's frightening to me. The older I'm getting, the more I'm frightened about being alone, if you know what I mean. Yeah, that's kind of the way it feels right now. I'm a little more about being alone. Wish I could find a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful right man. That would be nice. But life goes on. Anyway, guys, give me your views. Put it in the comments what your fears are. It'd be interesting to read. Take care, and I will see you in my next video. Bye-bye, guys. Have a good one. I hope you have a really good day. Bye-bye. Move, baby.